Vegas now.
Vegas.
What's your best Vegas story? I need to hear it, Larry. What do you got?
My best
Vegas story. Sinatra?
Vegas.
Any Vegas Sinatra stories deep in your Rolodex right there? Is there one?
Great Sinatra stories, but I have...
What's the best Sinatra story you could tell broadcast that you could tell?
Oh, the best is in Jackie Gleason. We were having we're going to talk sports here.
Yeah.
We were having a...
My way of, just so you know, because you are a host of the Hostess variety, my plan was to hit Sinatra, and then he was a Dodger fan and get to the Dodgers through the Sinatra story.
Very smart.
See what I was doing? That just
Weaving.
Normally I don't give my roadmaps out like that, but Larry, and Shawn,
we were at Frank's funeral. Frank was great to me near the end of his life, and I did his last television interview, and we were at Frank's funeral together, and I always told her, had Frank lived and he'd done another duet album, he would have sung with her, because he would have loved her voice. I love Frank. Anyway, I'd never met Frank. This goes back to 1963, 64. Gleason was my mentor. Jackie would come on my shows. And he was terrific to me, and we were at his house one night, and he was talking about things that are impossible. What's impossible? And a doctor was there, and the doctor said, they'll never make blood in a lab. They'll never create blood. Blood will always be in the human body. No one will ever invent blood. And he said to me, what's impossible in your profession? I said, well, I do a talk show on local radio every night from 9 to 12. What's impossible is Frank Sinatra to sit down on my talk show for 3 hours. And Gleason said, is he in town? I said, yeah, he's in town at the Fontainebleau this week and next week. And he goes, what night is he off? I said, next Monday. He says, you got him. I said, what? He says, you got him next Monday at 9 o'clock. So I go back to the radio station. I start plugging them. People are calling in. Frank Sinatra, Monday night.
Yeah.
And you're how old at this time?
1930.
Okay.
29.
Kid.
A kid.
Kid.
The station calls me in, the management. We're taking an ad in the Miami Herald. Full-page ad, Frank Sinatra, Monday night. We've called the Fontainebleau. We left messages. He doesn't call us.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Now, it's Monday night. 9 o'clock, nobody from the radio station went home. They all stayed, the secretaries, the salesmen.
Because Francis Albert's going to walk in the door.
In 64, this is the biggest act in the world.
Of course.
And he doesn't do interviews. And it's 1 to 9, and a limo pulls up. And out comes Frank. And he comes walking up the stairs. We had a stairway up, beautiful radio station. And he goes, which one's Larry King? And I go, me? He says, okay, let's go. We walk in, sit down, the light goes on, and I never bloated myself up on the radio. I never made it bigger than it was, and I never lied to the audience. So instead of giving some big introduction, I said, my guest is Frank Sinatra. Why are you here? And he said, well, 5 years ago, I was working at Ben Maxick's Town and Country Club in New York, and I was sick Saturday night. I had laryngitis, couldn't sing, called Jackie Gleason. I said, will you come and do my show? And he came and did the show. At the end of the show, I walked him out to his car. I leaned in, I said, Jackie, I owe you one. Now I'm here at the Fontainebleau, I get a message to call Jackie. I call him up, I said, Jackie, it's Frank. And he said, Frank, this is the one.
No kidding, for your show. Jackie Gleason booked Frank Sinatra.
He booked
as
him.
the one.
And then, end of story,
yes,
he invites me to come see his show at the Fontainebleau Friday night, on him. On him.
And
I get this show, and I'm sitting in the front row. I can't believe it. In the middle of the show, he stops the show. He's talking, he's smoking. And he says, oh, by the way, got interviewed the other night. I don't do that very much. Young man here, Jackie Gleason set it up. Larry King. Stand up, take a bow, Larry. And I'm eating Cherry's Jubilee. Which is ice cream with cherries. I stand up, hit the table.
No!
Cherries all over my face, down my grin.
Oh, my gosh.
He called me the Cherry Man.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.